So I am starting a business that I started a while back, but I didn't couldn't gain traction with it because I was cold calling. And cold calling sucks, basically. And it just felt wrong. It felt like, I don't know, in this age of AI, why am I going to do the most menial outreach possible where I know I'm going to get rejected 95% of the time and make cold calls? It just doesn't make sense. There's got to be a better way to get like people who are actually interested on the phone and not just shotgun a bunch of like, you know, shotgun blast a bunch of messages. So, I think and I couldn't really there was that and there was also it just kind of felt like not that important, like an experiment that wasn't going well that like when I was in Austin, I'll be honest, like I have limited runway. I'm trying to build a business to support that lifestyle so that I can continue to stay there. But tying it for me, at least in my head, tying that to that business's success to like my shelter, my what felt like survival, which meant that it became not an experiment, but it became like it must like a live or die kind of thing, basically. And so I think subconsciously that just created a lot of pressure. And I would start doing it for a little bit, but like you feel like you're wasting time, you know? You feel like you're like if it doesn't start going the way you want it to, like you got to immediately pivot to something else because you're wasting time. Time is valuable, time is money. Um so it added a whole lot of weight to it. And now that I have realized two things that were really important for me. The first was I have to start becoming a show host. That was the most important thing for me. Like the one thing, if you ask me, what's the one thing, I would want to do if I could get paid for it or if money didn't matter, what would I choose? It would be some version of this. We're still in the early rounds, guys. It's gonna get there. But it would be that. It would be being a show host. And I was putting that to the side. I was putting that in the background in order to focus on the business. So that right there kind of made this mental, I don't know, thing in my head where it meant that I was treating the main thing in my life, even if it's not going to make me money right now, as secondary. And that was really draining me of energy. Even though it, you know, you would think the business, which is going to be the thing that makes you money, is going to be the thing you need to focus on first and foremost. But for me, it just wasn't. I needed to make money. And or I'm sorry, I needed to make this show and it was like an identity thing. Like I have to do this because I said I was going to do this. And if I don't make this the priority, I never will. I guess that's kind of what was going on in my head. And so I made that change. And then of course, I'm not paying rent right now, which adds a whole nother dimension to, giving me more runway, not feeling like I'm wasting money trying to figure things out. So that's really helped. And once I removed those things, it was like, all of this became clear, you know? And so it made me able to try this business again. So it was like, it wasn't a strategy mismatch. It wasn't like I didn't have the tactics. It was more like a fundamental identity level thing that I had to figure out. And so, and the fact that I knew I'm here selling an AI business, and the business is AI voice agents for home services companies. So, like an AI receptionist answers calls after hours, answers calls when everyone's busy, schedules appointments, answers questions, things like that. It's basically a person, a receptionist who answers the phone. But I was doing it and I was prospecting in a way that was just so like inefficient. And I think I found a better way. So I will give you a report in the future, maybe on our next episode, about how that's going because I found a way to get a bunch of phone numbers for the owners of these types of businesses and then use a software program to text them all, you know, basically at once, see who replies, gauge interest, and then call them. That is just way more scalable to me, way more aligned with just who I am. And so that's kind of why I'm getting a little bit more momentum back now. Yeah, so the lessons there, untying success from survival. It just gives you way more motivation to experiment and play around. Uh and here's a question that I think a lot of people are wondering right now. Why do you need to use AI? Like what is it? You know, and I don't think anybody really has an AI business. Every business needs to be AI, just like every business is electronic in some way now. You're going to have to use AI only but if only because everyone else is going to do it. But it really is just like what is it when we boil it down, you know? It's intelligence. And intelligence is an accelerant. That's all it is. You know, if you have one person business, okay. If you have a 10-person business, way better. You have a team with 10 people, that's 10 times the intelligence. That's all AI is. It's just scalable intelligence and of really smart having really smart people. And at first, using AI slowed me down because I I think I was using it to learn as much as I could, and I wasn't implementing it as enough. So you have to be willing to try stuff. But once you're willing to try stuff and use AI, uh, you can try things so much faster. It's just speed. That's really it. Intelligence is speed. You can try things. You can learn from them faster. The AI can analyze. So that's basically it. That's what you're doing. But it's really good because it can, like, add back years that you've missed otherwise. Like, um, it compounds. Like 2 years, what may have taken 2 years to do because you're by yourself and you're trying things and you're trying to figure it out. You're probably having to hire somebody to help you analyze what worked and what didn't. That can become 6 months. And then that becomes, scale that out, compound that. 3 you could do 10 years becomes 3 years or less. And the further out you go up that curve, the bigger the compounding is, Who knows what's gonna happen in the future? But that's why you have to do it. You can make up for lost time, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's how I'm using AI. So if you have questions on, using AI for your business, let me know. I spent the afternoon building an AI voice agent, which seemed so hard a couple of months ago. It wasn't that hard. I did it in 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, I built like a custom one in 2 hours. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted on that.